declaring its readiness and that it will protect the country from any negative infiltration. As about 300 migrants from neighboring Burkina Faso seek asylum in Ghana, fleeing from terror activities in their country.
And so we're giving them humanitarian support, but we're also making sure that whatever we're doing, we do not allow dangerous elements to infiltrate those who are seeking assistance.
And in business, a new IMF report shows the economy being in crisis when it requested for a fund program in 2014.
You want to stay with us here on Newsnight, and then later we have more for you on a declaration today by government of its readiness to commit all resources required to ensure Ghana is never hit by terrorists. You want to stay with us for all that here on Newsnight. As always, the Newsnight's headlines are always brought to you by Eden Heights. Welcome. Newsnight always brought to you by Puma Card. Cash-free convenience. Later.
Name the 6 killer diseases.
6 killer diseases. Housefly and mouse.
Well, we'll take you to the health class. Want to stay with us here later on for Flipside. We start with a breaking news story, a sad one. A 14-year-old boy has been shot dead and 3 others critically injured in a clash between residents of Udumasi and the police in the particular area. Reports say, eyewitnesses say the 14-year-old boy who sells sachet water was struck down by a bullet several meters away from the protest scene at Agromenya in the eastern region. The protest is a climax of weeks of simmering tension and pockets of clashes between the angry residents and police-backed officers of the power distributing services who've been on a mission to disconnect some members there. We want to bring in very quickly Stephen Atieku, who is on the telephone line right now. He's a local journalist there with Skyfield FM. Stephen, thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Thank you, Evans.
Please give us a sense of what happened.
All right, so Evans, at around 2:30 this afternoon, the PDS and the police tried to disconnect a transformer at Yohe, a suburb of the Lower Manyakrobo municipality. And the youth there said they would not allow the PDS to disconnect the light because the PDS deliberately want to give them power outages throughout the day, and they said they will not allow them. So the PDS quickly tried to call the police to come and take the youth on. And then the police came with a gun. They started shooting at the youth. And then later, the youth tried to mobilize themselves, and then they outweighed the police. So the police go back to the police station, and then they call for reinforcements. And then they were trying to go to Yohe again to take over when they met the youth coming in. So they rushed quickly to the municipal assembly, and the youth also followed them to the municipal assembly, throwing stones at the police at the municipal assembly. And then that escalated the whole issue.
And we are hearing reports of casualties.
Actually, at first, I went to the St. Martin's de Paul's Hospital, which is very close to the municipal assembly, and 6 casualties have been recorded. A 14-year-old boy has been shot dead, which is lying on the street as we speak. And about 6 people have been recorded. They sustained various kind of injuries. I'm on my way currently to the Atua government hospital to see the number of injuries that they've also recorded so far.
The PDS, we know they've already disconnected a number of homes before today's clashes, right?
Yeah.
Still on the line for me. Let me bring in, bring in DSP Abedeza Tete, speaks for the Eastern Regional Police. Mr. Tete, thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Thank you very much.
Great. So please confirm for me the what we're just hearing from reports on the ground about the shooting, but also casualties being reported. 1 14-year-old boy shot dead. What is the police account of this?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Earlier in the day, the police with the PDS continued with this disconnection exercise, and we did not record any incidents. The exercise actually ended successfully. It was later that we took intelligence that the town folks were mobilizing and actually marching in their numbers and heading towards the municipal assembly. The intention was to vandalize some vital installation and also attack the municipal assembly and cause damage to various property there and possibly attack some of the staff working within that facility. Based on the intelligence, we quickly move in and position ourselves tactically at the municipal assembly to forestall any disaster there. Subsequently, the persons, numbering about 1,000, started pressing the police with missiles and other things. We have on record certain very dangerous implements that we have retrieved from some of those persons, including cutlasses and other dangerous implements. As I'm speaking to you, some of our men have sustained serious injuries. And at a point, the situation was quite fluid. Reinforcement has to be called quickly, and police reinforcement arrived some minutes ago, and they've managed to de-escalate the situation. So as we speak, the situation is being monitored closely. There are reports, we have also picked some intelligence that lifeless body has been found at a certain location. And for now, we cannot conclusively say that the lifeless body died as a result of gunshots or any other thing. We should just be patient. The necessary things will be done. The body will be taken to the morgue, and post-mortem will be done. Whatever the report is, it will be available to the police, and we take it from there.
Okay, so what you're confirming is that it's true that we've had one fatality, a 14-year-old boy.
Yes, sir.
I cannot specifically tell you the age and the sex of the person, but what I can tell you is that the reports I've received so far is that a certain lifeless body has been located at a certain location, and the body is here to be picked and taken to the morgue for preservation.
In the attempt, you talked about the police officers feeling threatened and had to use force to deal with the situation. Would you have reports that your men were compelled to use or did use live ammunition?
At the point, based on the reports and the messages that we have received from the ground, the distress calls and other things, the situation was quite fluid. The policemen's life were in immediate danger. We are talking about over 1,000 persons charging on police officers who are less than 40. So that is the situation, the mental picture that I want to paint to you. And these were persons who were not only charging at the police officers, but they were actually charging them with very dangerous implements, some which includes cutlasses and other dangerous weapons, and they were hurling stones and all kinds of missiles on them. The police deployed initially some canisters. That will not work. Some of the policemen came under threats. Some have sustained serious injuries. So at a point, the police had to defend themselves, and they did so.
So live rounds were fired.
The self-defense was not to fire directly at the people, but the police had to defend themselves, and they did so.
How many officers have been left injured? You say?
We are talking about 5 officers who are sustained injuries now.
And where are they now? Are they in hospital receiving treatment?
Exactly so.
And so, as we speak, what's the situation on the ground?
The men who arrived from the regional police headquarters, the rapid deployment force officers, with the counter-terrorism unit, have managed to de-escalate the situation as we speak now. It is still an uneasy camp, but they are bent on ensuring that there's a semblance of order, law and order in the place. They will stop at nothing to ensure that anybody who in the night tries to do anything to affect the peace and security of the area, that person is quickly Book.
Have there been any arrests?
Initially, when the problem started about 3 days ago, on Monday, 3 persons were arrested, and as I speak to you, they are currently being investigated. At the appropriate time, when we conclude the investigation, they will be taken to court. They were initially taken to a location that is far away from the Odumasi area because of the threat that if they are within that enclave, the police in those areas may come under some form of attack.
Is the police maintaining a presence on the ground in this area?
Yes.
Do you know how long they're going to be there?
They'll be there as long as the situation, continues to be, abnormal. The situation we have there, I may describe it as fluid. So they'll be there as long as the people in the area continue to embark on the lawlessness that is happening in the area. They are there to maintain law and order. So until law and order comes back to the place, they are not leaving.
I'm grateful that you joined us with that update. That's the SP Ebenezer Tete. He speaks for the Eastern Regional Police. I still have with me on the line Stephen. Stephen, there's a background to this I want you to help me with, which is that this is not the first time the people in that part of the Eastern region have clashed with officials of either the PDS and the police, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
The first time this happened, this must have been somewhere last year or early this year.
It happened last year, and the Monday it repeated itself. What is happening is like there was a bad bill for about 1 year, which the PDS, then the electricity company of Ghana, refused to give bills to every household in the Lower Manico municipality. So what the people are saying is, let us try to pay the new bills and see the best way we can sort the old bills out. But what they are saying is like, the people should pay all the old bill in bulk. I tried to speak to one of the residents who literally has been shot. What he told me, like, he's owing about 2,500. He went to the PDS office last Monday to pay about 1,000 Ghana cedis, and they still come to disconnect him. So what they're saying is that they are now trying to use the police to intimidate them to pay all their bills before they connect them. And as we speak, Evans, all the entire community is in darkness since morning. All the entire community is in darkness. So that's what is happening now. So this Monday, they clashed with the police. What happened is like they went to a certain house at Komuno to do a disconnection. And the people in the house, they would not allow the police and the PDS guys to do the disconnection. So they tried to overcome the police. They went to the police station, called reinforcement, and they shot discriminatory at the people. 4 guys have been arrested, and they are still in custody. One has been injured. What he told me is like he was just going to buy something at a nearby house when they clashed with the police. He was not even part of the police. And that is what is happening on the ground now. Even as we speak, this shooting started at around 2:30. As we speak, I left there about 5 minutes ago. Shooting is going on.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for that report from the ground there. We had the police already. They've told that they're maintaining a presence on the ground because of what they call fluid nature of the security situation in that part of the country. If you're just joining us, breaking news coming out of Odumase is that a 14-year-old boy has been, the police say they can't confirm the age of the boy, but they can confirm that one person, a lifeless body, is on the ground somewhere in Odumase as a result of today's shooting there. The police, he says, were forced because they felt threatened. A number of officers, he says, have been injured in this, and they were forced to use live rounds, force, but the live rounds were not fired directly at the protesters, and the police themselves felt threatened because there were 40 as against 1,000, as they've explained. And as we're talking now, we understand that several others are in critical condition, many more injured, are receiving treatment tonight at various hospitals around the Odumase area there. Some police officers as well have also been injured in this. One person is already dead. Reinforcements have been sent. The counter-terrorist unit, we understand, has also been brought in to try and deal with this particular situation unfolding in Odumase in the in the eastern region. This is around the Agomenya area there. Now, the protest is a climax of weeks of simmering tension and pockets of clashes between the angry residents and police-backed officers of the power distribution services. They've gone there to disconnect residents who have not paid their electricity bills. We keep an eye on this unfolding story. We'll bring the very latest as and when we get it. Now, government is tonight committing to provide all resources required to ensure that Ghana is never hit by terrorists. Interior Minister Ambrose Derry has also charged all members of Ghana's immigration service to be vigilant, mainly at entry points, to ensure that terrorists operating within the sub-region do not gain access. Now, this comes in the wake of a series of attacks in neighboring Burkina Faso that has left many dead. Top immigration officials today and that commenced series of meetings to develop a plan to deal with the menace. Now, listen to the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry talk about what he expects of the immigration service in the wake of the threats.
We are talking of sharing information. First, intra, that is the police, the immigration. And so far, I can tell you that they are acting very well. We've got people who have come from Burkina Faso, first into the upper eastern part. Both police and immigration are working, and some also in the upper western part. Immigration's role cannot be overemphasized because you have the skills to handle the foreign elements in our country, in our communities. I call on you, regional commanders, to be extra vigilant and step up your operational protocols in a concerted effort to first of all prevent any such threats from happening. It hasn't happened here, and we want to make sure it does not happen here. Government is committed to help provide the needed support to ensure that you work more effectively and efficiently in this direction. Our keen interest as a government now, as far as you are concerned, will be to know what your plan of action is, or will be, or what will be required to execute those plans. And I hope I can count on the Controller General's able management to provide such information.
Well, we can listen now to the Controller General of the Immigration Service, Kwame Suatechi. He's been responding to the demands laid on his own shoulders by the Interior Minister.
Immigration policy worldwide is increasingly being used as a tool to advance economic development and plays a key role in national security. Immigration controls are primarily security operations aimed at regulating the movement of people in and out of the country. Presently, the objective is to secure the country against threats in whatever form, either physical, health-related, environmental, social, or economic. It is important that we screen travelers thoroughly to establish the bona fide of whoever seeks entry into this country. Proper screening seeks to identify, assess the personality, the purpose of travel, possible criminal records or criminal links, and means of support, among others. It is important to say that perpetrators of these crimes may in most cases try to avoid contact with the law enforcement agencies and may use unapproved routes into the country. I will encourage you to intensify patrols along the unapproved routes.
We'll look at this a bit more closely with what the Immigration Service intends to do with these threats in the SAP region shortly. We'll also hear from the Chief Imam's office, who's been speaking on the threats from the religious point of view. We'll speak to Professor Subaji shortly, who will be joining us to analyze this. But we'll also be going to Tripoli, where the government has begun implementing a 5-member committee report on the Tripoli conflict. Key amongst them, the decision to erect permanent police stations in the northeast district follows the eruption in violence, burning of homes, killing that we've seen in the last 48 hours. Stay with us. Details of this and more after the short break.
financial services, providing affliction, support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services, your success our passion. Trusted, innovative financial services, providing affliction, support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services, your success our passion. 10 good years of loyalty, service with integrity, protective of our guardian brand. 10 years of Texas, 10 years of loyalty, your success our passion. Oh yeah, your success our passion.
Your success, our passion.
Vodafone Magic Recharge land you. Buy a recharge card or top up credit via my Vodafone app, Vodafone Cash, and win up to 100 times bonus. Yes, 100 times bonus. Like we do on Vodafone. Share your top up pin with 2 friends to also enjoy bonus credits. There's more. Stand a chance to win daily, weekly, and monthly prizes like a trip to Dubai for 2, a Hyundai Creta, motorbikes, phones, airtime, Vodafone Cash, and many more. Simply subscribe to Vodafone Magic Recharge for free on *561# to win. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
It's time to experience something different, unexpected, and definitely beyond banking. It's a new era at GCB Bank, Ghana's most welcoming bank, where we offer you a world of financial security, flexibility, and convenience. We swiftly serve you with over 180 branches and 300 ATMs, and provide e-banking solutions that make it possible for you to bank anywhere, anytime. When you need a personal loan, sooner is better than later, so we give it to you in 24 hours to make sure the experience is always memorable. At GCB, your opportunities are limitless and we keep you smiling at all times. We're bigger and better, ready to take you beyond banking. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Joy 99.7 FM.
And it's still live here on Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Evan Spencer. Let's stay with the security issues that the country is grappling with to Tripoli now. And government has announced today that it's begun implementing a 5-member committee report on the conflict there. Key amongst them is the decision to erect a permanent police stations in the Northeast District. As you know, Kokombes and Chokosis have been fighting in renewed clashes since last Saturday. Several houses in the communities have been burned and many residents have been forced to flee the area. We'll hear from the Interior Minister shortly. But first, here is a report on the conflicts and the impact it has had on residents in these areas.
I can hear gunshot. I could tell you just few kilometers. I can hear gunshot. I could tell you just few kilometers away from myself. The situation is getting out of hand.
In the latest clash, fighting continued for 4 days. At least one person was killed and many homes burnt. Many schools were shut while health workers fled the communities.
But as a result of the conflict, we had to postpone the mock. And as I speak to you now, these days schools are not uncertain. Every day it's dawn before you wake up, around sometimes even 3 to 5 or thereabout. There are always fighting.
The first clash was about 9 months ago. At the center of it was a parcel of land each of the groups laid claim to. In that clash, more than 40 communities were torched, leaving over 5,000 people displaced. In the second episode, violence erupted when 2 young men rode their motorbike around the graves of some of the people killed in the first conflict. There was another round of fighting, the third between the groups, in March of this year. Then on Saturday, the 2 groups clashed again, burning homes and shedding blood. There is now a drive to seek peace. Yesterday, the youth of Chokosi met to discuss a way out of the conflict.
So we want to use this platform to talk to the President, the Interior Minister, National Security, to please
get some of the security personnel down there, because it's a situation that they have engulfed all around.
The Cucumbers are also talking peace. The Northern Regional Minister, Salifu Said, wants the Interior Minister to fast-track implementation of the work of a 5-member committee tasked to investigate the conflict. The police spokesperson in the Northern Region, Salifu Tanko, says it's not all over.
We have extended our patrols to a lot of places within the Saboba and also the Trepone districts. We've been able to prevent a lot of burnings that could have been more than what.
For now, the police patrols may be ongoing, but a lasting peace rests with the people, the Chokosis and the Cucumbers.
Now, Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Hassan Suhini, is worried the 5-member committee's report is yet to be implemented and has called on the security agencies to step up efforts at ensuring peace in the area.
I don't know the kind of intelligence that our security agencies are also able to pick up on some of these things, because I recall again the last time government set up some committee to work on the ground to find out how the issues could be resolved. The committee presented its report on a certain day, only for clashes to resume 2 days after the submission of the report. The Yana himself has also intervened into this matter, and one was thinking that that traditional interference can also address some other traditional concerns that may be contributing to the whole conflict. He gave a 10-day ultimatum after engaging with the traditional leaders of both sides, but it seems not to be getting resolved. And I think that perhaps our intelligence have to do more. They have to get to the bottom of this matter.
Well, tonight, the Interior Minister, Dr. Miss Ambrose Derry, has assured the committee's report is being implemented. He's also appealing to the public to volunteer information on those fueling the conflict there.
The committee was set up to look at the matter about the report. We are implementing the report. As I speak to you, yesterday the police council met. We've agreed to establish police stations. No more just sending people there and to restore. Sending police stations there, not just there, but also in Alavanyo. One of the places that we go and they fight and we withdraw, we want to put permanent structures there. We are there. And then the investigations are continuing. It's unfortunate that for the past 2 days they started burning houses, but now what we have had is a killing. The body has been sent to Tamale for this, and investigations are continuing. Some people have been arrested, and we are going to continue to investigate these matters. But we do not want people to create the impression that we are dealing with a situation that has never happened. We are dealing with a situation that we think must not continue to exist. And we're going to make sure that we work to eliminate it. But we need your support. We need information about the people who come around. And I can assure you that NGS will do well. Let me use the opportunity to thank you, because you play your role in trying to get these things on. And we want to make sure that we assure you that this government will not renege on its promise to make Ghana safe.
Well, the Northern Regional Security Council has imposed a ban on the use of motorbikes by residents of Tripoli and Saboba districts. It's part of measures being implemented following a joint RECSEG meeting of the Northeast and Northern regions in Tamale. We'll keep an eye on that as well as it unfolds. Still ahead here on News Night, Electoral Commission vows to crack whip on political parties breaching the law as it considers report on inspection of political party offices.
Our team has just come up with their report, so the Commission will be considering this.
Meanwhile, the Commission is uncertain. ROPA, that law that will allow Ghanaians living abroad to vote, will be implemented in the 2020 polls. We'll tell you why shortly. And then later, we'll take you to health class.
Name the 6 killer diseases.
6 killer diseases. Housefly and hots. Mouse.
Details of all that and more here on News Now. Hello, George. And George, the Joy Business Health and Wellness Seminar comes up shortly.
Yeah.
And in fact, this health class is part of the build-up to that.
Health 101.
We are testing your knowledge.
And the fact that when it comes to, and we're telling you more about it, that the health industry is a gold mine,
it is.
When it comes to drugs, health, tourism, even now the gym business. And you, I meet you. What you
George,
go through.
don't claim to meet me in the gym. When was the last time you came to the gym?
Oh, now I'm back to the gym.
Really? When?
I went off because I had to do something, but I'm back now.
Really?
Yeah.
So welcome back.
It's a whole business altogether, and
Yeah.
that is what this trade show is going to expose business to.
Okay.
When it comes to the other side of the health business, and that is why you need to be part of it. May 30 to June 1 at the National Theatre.
Okay. What else do you have in the headlines, George?
Well, Evans, coming up in business, the IMF paints a gloomy picture of the economy before the country requested for a program support in 2014. And the president is also talking about the fact that the banking reforms is actually helping turn around the economy. I'll be getting you more details on that one. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you?
Game over.
Oh no, I lost again. Mommy, can you please buy me some coins for my game from Play Store? Please?
Kojo, how? I don't even have a debit card.
Hey Mommy, don't you know you don't need a debit card to buy on Play Store. You can pay with MTN Momo.
Can I?
Yes.
Hey, Kojo, how do you know?
Mommy, everybody's talking about it at
Really?
You can now use MTN Momo to buy your favorite apps and games on Play Store. First, choose the app or game you want and select the MTN Momo option to pay. It's that simple.
Yes, I did it. Mommy, I won.
We day for you, everywhere you go.
We give you nothing but the best, we stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
Let us help you bank with the right bank. At First National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a digital partner that actually understands your business. Enjoy massive value with our various banking solutions. Get a business check account, a day-to-day transactional account for all businesses from all sectors of the economy. Access our online banking enterprise and bank your way 24/7. Invest with our short or long-term options that enable immediate access to funds. Optimize your cash flow, raise capital, and acquire assets with ease with our lending solutions. Trade with speed, consistency, and innovation with our global payments and forex solutions. With so much value up for grabs, there is no reason not to bank with First National Bank. First National Bank. How can we help you?
Honey, I need to get some.
But I don't have cash on me. Let me get some fuel quickly and let's go.
And how are you going to get the fuel? I thought you said you didn't have cash on you. What is this one?
My Puma card.
All it takes is a card. The Puma card allows you to buy fuel cash-free from all Puma energy filling stations. You can use your Puma card with any Visa points of sale and ATM across the country. The Puma card also works on mobile money. You get amazing discounts when you fill up with your Puma card. So register for free and get your Puma card instantly at any Puma filling station.
And you only got one for yourself, eh?
Yeah, will I have had my piece of mind?
Oh, thank you, honey.
And where are you going?
I'm getting something from the shop real quick. I need to test the card.
Puma card. Cash-free convenience.
Imagine living in a world of comfort and luxury. In a well-planned and gated community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex which has Olympic-sized swimming pools, football, basketball, athletics, and gym facilities. I'm talking about Eden Heights, the new destination for luxury in Ghana. Eden Heights is developed with the highest grade of finishing in our penthouses and our 1 to 4 bedroom apartments, and is located close to the beach resorts along the Atlantic Ocean, about 30 minutes drive from the airport and 5 minutes walk from the West Hills Mall. Eden Heights is the ideal location for luxury. Visit us at edenheights.com.gh or email to sales@edenheights.com.gh or call us on 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445 for more information. Eden Heights, welcome home.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, the economy was in crisis and facing some serious challenges in 2014. Now, that's the view one may form after going through a new article by the IMF country representative, that is Dr. Tunamama. It showed that in August 2014, the country had just $400 million at the Bank of Ghana as its international reserves to finance just 7 days of imports. The IMF also revealed that the Bank of Ghana financed government's expenditure by printing 22% of the previous year's fiscal revenue, that could be about 24 billion Ghana cedis, compared to a target of 5%, and also alternate financing sources were drying up. Let's still stay on this article because the IMF has also described moves to review the tax exemptions granted to businesses as a prudent decision that would help firmly stabilize the economy. Let's get you a wrap of those details in this particular article.
The IMF country representative in his article said it's crucial that everything is done to improve the revenue situation because of its capability to stabilize the economy, adding that reviewing these exemptions would go a long way to reduce large financing needs and lower Ghana's risk of debt distress. Dr. Tunamama argues that technology could offer lots of opportunities in improving revenue as well. The IMF's advice is coming at a time that the London-based Economic Intelligence Unit has also raised questions about the revenue measures and even the reforms, arguing that they are not that robust to help improve on the situation. Government is said to be losing over $2 billion in exemptions granted businesses and investors. Dr. Tunamama in the article is also warning that government needs to deal with its rising expenditure, especially those that are not captured in the budget, to ensure that fiscal situation does not worsen, because it could put a lot of pressure on the Ghana cedi, resulting in some sustained depreciation. On the energy sector, the IMF is warning that it remains a major threat to public finance because of how the sector has been managed over the years. It was, however, optimistic that measures being implemented together with support from the world can help deal with the situation.
And that was a Business Desk report. In a related development, economist Professor Godfred Bopkin says he's not surprised by this revelation.
If you look at government-owned, homegrown fiscal consolidation policy born out of the Finchi Consensus, when you look at government-owned requests that went to the IMF, there is a tacit admission that the economy was really in precarious situation.
The question that I'm asking myself is that why now? Why is the fund coming out with these revelations now?
I think that I agree with you. The IMF over the years has been a bit more diplomatic. I want to believe that now that the program has ended, they want to be able to find a space to be heard.
Because again, going through this feature or piece or article, it raises a lot of issues about the independence of the Bank of Ghana then.
Yeah. I agree with you, George. Bank of Ghana theoretically is independent, but operationally it is not. And that itself is a problem. So when you look at the...
And that is economist Professor Godfred Bopkin. Let's do some banking issues. And President Akufo-Addo has attributed the banking sector pickup in the first quarter of this year to aggressive reform that is being carried by government. According to the president, the reform did not only strengthen the banking sector but also minimize the amount of job losses. The president said this at a short ceremony at the commissioning of the new head office of CalBank at the Independence Avenue here in Accra.
These measures save not only the deposits of some 1.5 million Ghanaians, the businesses and the people they employ, but also minimize job losses in the banking sector. According to the March 2019 Banking Sector Report of the Bank of Ghana, and I quote, an assessment of the banking sector's performance during the first 2 months of 2019 showed a well-capitalized, profitable, liquid, and stable sector with strong prospects for increased financial intermediation.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, disclosed that the sector recorded a significant income after tax of more than 800 million Ghana cedis.
The solvency position of the sector has improved on the back of the recapitalization and orderly resolution of distressed institutions. As a result, the capital adequacy ratio of the banking sector, which deteriorated, has significantly improved to above 20% in March 2019. The sector remains profitable, with the first quarter of 2019 recording an after-tax income of 825.9 million Ghana cedis, showing an annual growth of 37%.
Central Bank Governor Dr. Ernest Addison. Now, Evans, let's do health, because the various business opportunities in the health sector when it comes to investment will be showcased at the Health and Wellness Trade Show at the National Theatre on May 30 to June 1, where we can talk about the health, tourism, pharmaceutical industry, and even this whole fitness and gym business, and how these areas are actually offering some good returns to investors. But let's also get you some tips on how to be healthy, Evans, because they say a healthy mind, what?
Name the 6 killer diseases.
6 killer diseases: housefly and hots, mouse.
So, George, the health and wellness seminar comes up shortly, but that is an interesting, just testing people's knowledge on
about how to stay healthy.
Yes, and there's this very simple question about, and this was a mother,
But even before we go ahead, let's get this tip that at least we all need it to stay healthy.
Welcome to today's Joy Business Health and Wellness Tip. Still on cardiovascular disease, in 2018, cardiovascular disease was the second cause of death after diarrheal diseases in Ghana. As it is thought by many, the disease does not only increase with unhealthy lifestyle choices, but is also increased significantly with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, smoking, and diabetes. It is, however, important to note that genetic factors also play a big role.
If you want more of this in terms of how to stay healthy, Evans, you have to be at the Health and Wellness Trade Show at the National Theatre on May 30 to June 1. And Evans, now businesses are giving a lot of attention in terms of having gymnasium at their offices, because you need to be healthy in terms of if you want an improved productivity and someone who is sound and can work well, that worker has to be healthy.
George, absolutely, I agree. I'm grateful that you joined us with the business news. So listen to Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM. I'll share a few of your messages with the rest of the world shortly. But first, the Electoral Commission has vowed to crack the whip on political parties breaching the law as it considers final report into the inspection of political party offices across the country. The Commission deployed personnel to inspect national, regional and district offices of political parties across the country recently. The inspection team, we understand, is done with its report, and the chairperson of the Commission, Madam Jean Mensah, is certain the Commission will implement its findings, but says it will not be because they want to punish the political parties.
Streamline the activities of the parties and ensure that they are conforming with the law. I think these are issues that have haunted the Commission in the sense that we have 24 political parties on our register, but you will hardly find them, adhering to basic, expectations within the law. So we are looking at audits, for instance. What we try to do is to get quite a number of them to provide their audit reports. I'm not saying that they are in the best formats, but they've tried. I think day in, day out, we see that people are bringing in their reports and so on. And I think we realize that not most of the parties don't, the formats in which they present the reports, they are not, you cannot compare them to best international standards. So we are working to develop a CI within to regulate the activities, a CI that will provide a basic template to political parties to follow, and therefore you can really track funding and they can account for their funds. We've conducted institutional visits to all the political parties. Our team has just come up with their report, so the commission will be considering this. Again, it's to really help the parties to, not really to punish, or it's not a punitive, process, but it's really to help them to, work within the confines of the law.
I want to bring in quickly the Director of Elections of the MPP, Mr. Evans Nemako. Mr. Nemako, thank you for your time here on Newsnight. A quick one on this latest decision by the EC insisting you're going to go ahead and enforce the law when it comes to filing your own returns with it. Has the MPP complied with that particular law?
Hi, Evans, thank you, and good evening to your listeners. I hope also that you are doing well and you are healthy. I am, so please let's keep exercising our body to keep alive. When it comes to the issue that Madam raised, I think that the EC on this issue, I think, is in order. The EC team visited the party headquarters in Accra. Upon corresponding team, we informed our regional officers, our constituency officers, and got them to meet with the EC team that inspected our offices. I mean, the New Patriotic Party, we are across all the districts. We are represented very well in all constituencies. And when it comes to issue of filing of our accounts with the EC, the party has always been up with it. So we are hoping to see the results, the data, the outcome from the EC, and discuss accordingly.
Now, the Electoral Commission also yesterday, when they paid a courtesy call on us, had raised a fundamental question, but also explained formally why they are restricting the registration, the limited registration to the district offices. They've explained, and I'm sure you've heard the explanation yesterday, which is essentially a case of being more financially prudent. What is the MPP's position on this? We've heard the NDC's position, which is that they don't believe what the EC is doing is the right thing to do.
Yeah, even for us as the New Patriotic Party, we told the EC at the IPAC meeting where there were other political parties and other state organizations as observers. For us, we wanted the EC to do the registration at the polling station levels. I mean, you have 28,992 polling stations. And so we informed the EC that if they want to do limited registration exercise, it is appropriate that they go to the polling station level. They explained to us of their challenges, that they need to refurbish some DVD machines, and in view of that, looking at the amount they will spend, to be financially prudent, to restrict it at the district offices where they have the VMS infrastructure. We made them aware that, this is going to be a bit of a burden on us as a political party. But we cannot be entrenched with our position, so we need to meet the EC halfway. In a way, for us, this is not the first time the EC is doing limited registration of the exercise at the district office. So we've informed our members. We are looking at the actions of the EC. What we also advise the EC is that they must work within the law. And if we feel that any aspect of their actions are outside of the law, we are ready to engage them. And where there is still disagreement, you take appropriate action and get them addressed.
Yesterday, the EC chairperson was also emphatic, responding to John Mahama, who had questioned their neutrality, that in fact neutral, that they will not rig the elections, that because that will plunge this country into a state of war. NDC, you, the MPP, you've also been in a position before, in the position where you accuse the Electoral Commission of not being neutral. Now you're on the other side in government. Where do you stand on this conversation?
Well, we've never said, even under the various EC bosses that we had, that they will plunge Ghana into war. I think we should be wary of such statements coming from some leaders of some political parties. And for me, it is very unfortunate if such statements are coming from the former president.
The former president said that it questioned their neutrality. The EC is explaining that they can't rig the election, because if they do, it will plunge the country into war, and that's why they will not do that, and that the system is watertight.
My brother, this is the same Mr. John Mahama who in 2016 advised the whole of Ghana that we should give the EC the opportunity to work, peace of mind to work. Is it doing the same? This is the same Mr. Sidon Ketia, Mr. Fiye, their former organizer, Kofi Adams, who used to be the spokesperson for the EC. And that's not what the New Patriotic Party is doing. For us, as the New Patriotic Party, we are ready to look into the law, look into the various acts, and make sure that the actions of the EC are within. If they are not, there are opportunities for us to present our case at IPAC. And that is what we've always done. If you look into the electoral history in Ghana, it is only the MPP who have presented to EC alternatives that have brought serious electoral reforms that have helped in consolidating our democracy. So we will not go the way the NDC is going.
Yeah, and from what the EC says, they are committed to meeting the parties' stakeholders in further strengthening the relationship and building trust in the system. Evans Nemako, for the sake of time, we just run out of time on this. I'm grateful that you joined us. Let's do some sports now. Hello, Hans. Big
Hello,
day
Evans.
for the national
definitely,
team.
for Ghana as well, because that provisional squad, the 29-man provisional squad, has been named by Coach Kwesi Appiah after all the back and forth regarding the captaincy and Jan's resignation and decision to perform a U-turn on that earlier decision. So this is where we are. The 29-man provisional squad has been named, and of course, Asamoah Gyan is in there. He'll be a part of the squad that then plans to the UAE to begin preparations for the tournament. But there are 3 local players in there: Felix Annan of Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, Abdul Fattah Safi also of Asante Kotoko, and Hasselhoff defender Mohamed Al-Hassan. Also, there are 5 debutants, and those are Mohamed Al-Hassan again of Hearts of Oak, Abdul Fattah Safiu of Asante Kotoko, Samuel Owusu of Kukariki of Serbia, and not much is known about him, but we checked his numbers, and he has some 7 or 8 goals this season, in the Serbian league. So he has also been named. Kwabena Owusu plays for Leganes in the Spanish lower divisions. He is with the Black Meteors, but he's in promotion to be with the Black Stars of Ghana, and Nuhu Musa of St. Gallen in Switzerland. Now, in case you're wondering what or how our strikers, 5 strikers have been named, but just how have they performed this season ahead of their tournament. So their goals for the season gives you an idea of the form that they are in. So I'll go through the 5 strikers. Jordan Ayew has scored 2 goals from 25 games this season. And Majid Waris has also scored 7 goals from 37 games this season. You're smiling.
Go on.
Right. And Caleb Kuban also has 8 goals from 35 games. Asamoah Gyan has 5 goals from 16 games this season. The only player in there with 10 goals this season is Kwabena Owusu.
Okay.
And that is from 25 matches for the season. So the team departs Ghana for the UAE to begin preparations on the 1st of June.
I'm grateful that you came to us with the details that we just had. A very interesting list there that we'll be interrogating, I'm sure, in the coming days. And up next is Enimwa, who is going to come your way with Strong and Sassy.
Strong and Sassy.
But I know you are very keen on health. There's a question that we've been asking ahead of the Joy Business Health and Wellness seminar. Listen to questions that we asked them about basic questions of health. I'm sure you'll be interested. You are a health professional.
Yes,
Listen
indeed.
to this.
Okay.
When we say STD, what does it mean?
Sexual transmitted disease.
Okay. What is cholera?
Cholera. By running, you run. If you don't keep your environment clean, if you don't drink clean water, you get cholera.
Okay, and what are some of the ways we can prevent cholera?
By keeping your environment clean, by drinking good water, by eating good food.
Name the 6 killer diseases.
6 killer diseases. Housefly and hots, mouse, and what again? 6 killer diseases: housefly, mouse, and hots.
We have to answer the and what.
And cockroaches.
Wow. 6 killer diseases. That's interesting.
No, but I must admit, if you ask me that top of my head, I probably mention like 4 or 5.
Measles, polio, but I don't really remember the rest.
Okay, the rest, let me help you. You've mentioned measles, there's whooping cough, there's tuberculosis, there's poliomyelitis, remember polio? And then there's, of course, tetanus, and then there's diphtheria. Yeah, we used to recite this quite,
We did. I think the reason we don't talk about is that a lot of them we have managed with immunization to lower the prominence of some of these diseases in our society.
Well, you're not talking about health next. You're talking
actually,
about
we are.
what?
We're talking about mental health this evening. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and depression is a major thing in Ghana. About 42% of Ghanaians suffer from some sort of psychological issue, especially women.
I can't wait to hear what yours is.
And so, yes, what's my psychological issue?
Yes.
I have like 7 personalities. I think that's really the top of the list.
I know the personality I like. Yes, go on.
Evans, behave yourself.
Go on.
So we're talking about mental health, talking about depression, and we have Dr. Carol Matthias O'Shea. She's with us. She's an amazing woman, and she's going to talk to us really about how to deal with the difficult times in our lives, making it through the darkness, finding the light at the end of the tunnel, that kind of thing. So it's a warm, get your cup of tea, I was going to say huddle around the fire, but Chale Ghana, we don't roll like that. So
Strong and Sassy starts right now. My name is Evans Mensa. Enjoy your evening.